Let's look at the Nigerian question again. Let's examine the part we've walked through. Let's reflect on history. And let's look at the intellectual output of a Nigerian who fought in the Civil War. In this book, the author writes, on 30th May 1967, Ojukwu proclaimed the sovereign state of Biafra. There was euphoria all over the entire eastern region. In our school, Government College Umuahia, we even broke bounds and marched around the adjoining community. And some of us even went to town, which was forbidden on a non-outing day. The author says everybody was so happy and excited that students on their own lowered the Nigerian flag. It was a day that remained memorable to us then, and all adults thought the much expected time of freedom had come. We thought we could now return to normal life. Every man and woman applauded the decision in the East. Lagos, on its part, christened its rebellion and promised to quell it. I just read from the book Biafra Civil War, My Experience, written by a former governor of Imo State, Achike Udenwa. This is the book. This is what we are discussing. And from here, we'll also discuss the politics of the Nigerian state. My guest on State Affairs is Achike Udenwa, a former governor of Imo State. It's good to have you on State Affairs.
Thank you, viewers. It's my pleasure to appear before you today and look at the Nigerian question from where we are coming and where we are. Thank you so much.
I can call you an old soldier.
Yes, you'll be right to call me that.
You fought in the war.
Yes, I fought in the war.
You saw war.
I saw war naked in my eyes. Yeah.
War is good?
War is bad.
What makes it bad?
There's loss of life, loss of even loss of humanity. You know, war does nobody any good. War is not the best way to settle conflicts. I wish we can always adopt other conflict resolution methods than going to war. A lot of people, a lot of casualty, a lot of loss of property, destruction of the economy and everything. So war is not good.
You know, while reading your book, I was asking myself, was Achike Udenwa, as a college student, preparing himself for war? You went to your government college, Umuahia.
Yep.
And you were a young military officer cadet at the school. So the military interested you.
Yep.
So were you preparing for war?
Not at all. I was not preparing for war. We never envisaged a war. But normally, by tradition, our school had a cadet unit. And that cadet unit, from there, you could choose to go to the army. You could choose to have a military career. So a lot of our old boys by then were in the army. We produced such big officers in Nigerian Army like Colonel G.T. Kurubo, Colonel Mwawo, not Mwawo, Colonel Awuna, Colonel Madebo, Colonel Eze, Anthony Eze, and so many others Onwatuegu, the Major Onwatuegu used to hear of. He went to Umuahia. Captain Udaja, they all went to Umuahia. So we had that tradition. A lot of them grew from the cadet unit. And from the cadet unit, they joined the Nigerian Army. So in our time, we were also enthusiastic. We joined the cadet unit, and it was a very pleasurable experience to have passed through it.
Now, you have mentioned traditional soldiers that went to government college. Mm-hmm. As you wrote in this book, you also wanted to join the army. Mm-hmm. If the Civil War had not broken out, you would have enlisted into the Nigerian Army, right?
Yes. In fact, I had already taken the entrance to Nigerian Defense Academy. I was to be part of what you called Course 3 of the Nigerian Defense Academy, which had such people like General Tundo Ogbeha, General Garba, General David Mark, Adisa, General Malu, who was the chief of army staff. They were all in that course. Pobeni, the naval officer. There were a lot of them. Mike Ahigbe, who later on became the chief of defense staff under Abdul Salam. They were all in that course 3. So I was supposed to be their course mate. And I met a lot of them later in life, and we became friends.